All right, so part of this lesson that we're going to do as well is the fact that puzzles can be solved using logical reasoning. Now, we did a whole bunch of logic puzzles earlier on in the year, or earlier on in the unit, where you were trying to solve logic puzzles, Ken, Sudokus. What we're going to look at here is just following instructions to solve. So kind of like a logic puzzle in general, but looking at how can we solve it using logical reasoning. So the example we're going to use here, again, goes kind of towards our logic puzzles we did earlier. But let's follow the instructions and try to figure out what we're doing here. So Sue signed up for games night at her school's fun night. 7 other people were assigned to her group, making 8 of them. And there are 4 pairs of partners, so 4 people or 4 groups of 2. Now the other members of her group were Dave, Angie, Josh, Tanya, Joy, Stu, and Linus. And we're going to try to figure out who are the 4 pairs. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to use this list of instructions, which is embedded into the question, and try to figure out the 4 pairs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a table right here, and we're going to put 2 people on each side of the table. We don't know what the names are yet, but we're going to go through and do each of the instructions and then try to figure out who sits in each place. So when the game started, Dave and his partner were to the left of Stu. Well, we need some sort of sense of where we're starting. So let's put Dave right here. And we don't know who Dave's partner is yet. So I'm going to just stroke out Dave because we have Dave where he belongs. We're to the left of Stu. So now imagine that you're sitting at the table, okay? And if you need to kind of, I always use like an L for left, so that's my left hand. So I'm sitting at the table here. If I'm right here, this is to the left. Well, if I'm here, Dave is to my left. So Stu, okay, must be over here. Okay, so the left of Stu, so this one has to be Stu. Okay, we're going to put it there, and we're going to put a check mark through that one because we've done that clue. Now again, it's kind of going over and just understanding things logically, and sometimes we need to understand our directions, sometimes we have to understand where things are spatially. It's all part of what we're doing here. So it says here that across from Dave was Sue. Well, if Dave is here, then Sue must be there. Okay, let's cross out Sue. There we go, there's our first Sue. Okay, so across from Dave is Sue, who was to the right of Josh. Well, again, we go here. This is on the right of Josh, so Josh must be there. Okay, so on the right of Josh, and so we got Josh in there. So we know Stu and Josh are together already. Dave's brother's partner, Tanya, okay, so that means that Dave has a brother, and he's with Tanya, so we're going to kind of look at some of the male names, so we have to watch out for the male names, was across from Stu. Well, that means that Tanya is here across from Stu, and her partner, who's a male brother, okay, so Tanya's there. Now, the only names that we have left are Angie, Joy, and Linus. Now, again, sometimes we have to understand a little bit of logic here, and we're going to kind of assume that Linus is a male name. Okay, now, again, that can be up for debate. I mean, if you want to call Angie or Joy a male name, that can work as well, but we sometimes have to understand what is more common. Okay, and often the names are going to be pretty set out, or it's going to be described as to who's male and who are females. But when we hear brother, that's a male. Sister would be a female. Now, Joy was not on Stu's right. Stu is here, so Joy cannot be here, so Joy has to be there. And that means that Angie is in this spot right there. We'll cross them off. So again, go through the problem, look at each individual section, and we need to understand there, where is each person going to be, okay, and how can we understand how it is set up and follow the instructions on that. All right, your assignment for this one right here, we'll put that on there. The assignment is number 3 and questions 1 to 9. Okay, so assignment 3, questions 1 to 9.